Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I have got, oh man, look what I've got for y'all this time. Dior nails. I love these so much. These are probably one of my top 3 favorite sets I've ever done. And yeah, I'm just, God, I'm surprised my arm isn't broke from patting myself on the back. And yeah, that's my other hand, which, doesn't really matter because it's not my picture hand. But yeah, I think they're really, really pretty. And yeah, sparkly blue. I mean, just pretty. So yeah, if you want to see how I did them, we're going to get right on into it. So I am prepped and ready. I've got my tips on, base coat, all that stuff. I'm ready to go. I have used my Born Pretty Dehydrator and Primer because I'm going to be using Born Pretty gel today. This is what I use for my base coat. Excellent base coat. I love it. I'm going to be using Clear from them. And this is the one that I thinned out slightly, so it's easier to work with. And let's see, what else? I'm going to be using a gel I kind of mixed up a little bit. It's nothing major. It's their nude with some just iridescent white fine glitter mixed into it. I use this gel. It's just their nude. I can't remember the exact name of it, but that number on the top is what you want to look for that color. And then I threw in some of this glitter that I've had knocking around for ages. I originally got it over at Sally Hansen. No, not Sally Hansen. Sally's Beauty. Sally's Beauty. I got it there, God, years ago. But glitter lasts forever. So, and this is something else I got from Amazon in 2021 is what I found out today when I looked it up. It was part of a 9-piece set, and I will leave it linked below for you all. It's just a really pretty iridescent blue, but the 9-piece set is gorgeous. I'm also going to be using some white gel polish and some foil. Blue Dior foil. It is from this set, which is part of an AliExpress haul from ages ago. I was going to link it below, but it's not being sold under that listing anymore. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, I'm going to get some of this glitter out in this tray ready to go. I have found that you need to stir these up because all the small particles fall to the bottom and all the big ones just lay on top. So, yeah, I'm going to get this out into the tray and get ready to go. Oh, yeah, this is the 9-piece set. It is, yeah, look at those pretty colors. Y'all will definitely see some more of this set at some point because, yeah, I just found them again the other day. I had them kind of put away where I was working with A&A for so long, and I'd forgotten how gorgeous they are. So, yeah, glad I found them. And I think I'll pull this up close so you can really get a good look. Oh, it's so pretty. The iridescent shine. Anything iridescent always has my heart. And this is the other hand. Not filed yet, just sculpted. I found that the foil just on clear was not very, I don't know, you just couldn't really see it that well. And I didn't think it would really show up well in pictures and stuff like that, so I decided to put white underneath of it, and I think that makes it show up a little better. I don't know. It was either put white underneath of it or put blue underneath of it and use the white version of the foil, but I thought that this would be, I don't know. I thought it might be, it would look better for some reason. I don't know. I think either one probably would have looked all right. But, so yeah, I'm just going to put one coat of this Venalisa white on. And I think this is one of the things that I showed, I don't know, it was in a recent video. Was it my Amazon Finds. I can't remember. It's not been that long ago that I got it. Oh, no, it was in the one about the cat eyes. But, yeah, it's on Amazon. Really nice white gel polish. If y'all need a link, let me know. And I'm going to just slightly kind of ombre that out a little bit. Basically just feathering it out a tiny bit. Just so if the nude that goes over it doesn't cover enough, you're not going to see that line through the gel. I've done it both ways, this kind of thing in the past, and I find that this gives me a better result. Sometimes you can see the shadow of that line, or just the line. If it's a really dark, like a deep color, you can see it through the nude. So, yeah, just a couple extra seconds is all it takes, and it just looks better in the end. So, I think. So, wiping off the sticky layer, because we're going to go with the foil gel on top, and I'm using the McCart foil gel. And I just feel like that sticky layer gives it, or removing the sticky layer gives it a chance to work better. Maybe it's in my head. I don't know. But I've had a lot of trouble with foils in the past. For the longest time, I just could not get them to work, period. And I tried everything. I tried different foil gels. I tried everything under the sun, man. And I think it was Unpolished by Aggie. I think it was Aggie that I asked one time. And she suggested that my lamp might be the problem. And y'all, it was. It was the lamp I'd had for a couple years, and it was not the best lamp to begin with. I mean, it wasn't, none of them are really that expensive these days if you're just talking about, Amazon lamps, but it was really cheap to begin with, and I had used it a lot, and so, yeah, anyway, long story short, I replaced my lamp, and I've never had a problem with foils again. So, yeah, sometimes, y'all, it's the lamp. It's not the foil glue. It's not the foil. It's not how long you're curing it. It's not wiping it on the back. A lot of times it's the lamp. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. So, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to get this foil on the pinky and the pointer fingers. And then we'll move on. Okay, so the foil is on the two fingers that I want it on. I did miss a step here. Rewatching this, I should have base coated over the foil before I started putting this builder gel on, or hard gel on top of it. You want to do that just in case. Sometimes you can erase part of the image, or it can bleed, or you can mess up what you've already done, and you don't want to do that. So you all make sure and base coat before you move on to any other steps. Don't do what I did. But it turned out fine, thank goodness, because I would not want to go back and have to redo that. Okay, so starting out here the way I always do, with just a thin layer on each nail. For the ring finger and the middle finger, they're going to be solid nude for right now. The pinky and the pointer are just going to be halfway down the nail, and I'm going to ombre it down over the foil. Okay, so they're all cured. I already started on my pinky finger. I decided to cut it out of the video because it didn't show up very well. So the pointer finger is going to be exactly the same, so you're not missing anything. I'm going to, y'all that have seen me sculpt before, you know how I do this. So I've got the first layer cured. This is going to be my slip layer. I'm showing the next scoop of gel where I want it to go, basically, and this helps it move around the nail, and It's the easiest way to sculpt with hard gel, I think. So yeah, I'm starting my ombre a little bit more, or continuing my ombre a little bit more with this step, and then picking up some gel out of this tiny pot. God, that's so hard to pick up gel out of without holding the pot too. So yeah, get my gel on here, and I'm gonna kind of walk it down the nail, and then I'm going to lay this brush down and get my detailer brush out, like y'all have seen me do. This is now my routine. I love these little detailer brushes for this stuff. And this helps you really get it into all the places that you want it to be. It just, I don't know. Since I started using a detailer brush, I find that it's the easiest way to sculpt. And I will say that this nail does take me a minute. This fade over this bright white underneath of the foil is not the easiest thing to do with hard gel. It looks like it might be easier with acrylic, but I've never used acrylic, so I wouldn't know. And poly gel would probably be a little easier if you know what you're doing with it, but I'm a hard gel girl, so this is what I'm using. I have to make it hard as possible on myself, I think. But so yeah, I'm like pulling it down and then pulling it back and then pulling it down and pulling it back, just getting that ombre where I want it. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be covering up that the join between the two different colors, the foil and the hard gel. I'm going to be covering up the join edge with a little bit of glitter here in a little bit, but you want to make, I wanted to make it as good as I could. So that's what I'm doing here. And then a cure, and then it will be time for the ring and middle nails. Okay, so the ring nail and the thumb are going to be the same. The middle nail is just going to be completely nude all the way through. It's just going to be built completely nude, out of nude. This one, I want to do like a glitter swoosh on it. So I'm just building this up just for color, but not for thickness or structure or anything like that. So I'm just going to paint on a layer, basically paint on a layer of this hard gel that I mixed and cure it, and then come back and do a second layer. And I think that's all I'll do on this nail for the nude color. I will say that if you do mix your hard gel with glitter like this, it does kind of change the texture of it. It makes it, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. It makes it a little stringier. It definitely feels grittier under your brush, and it moves different on your nail. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but it does feel different when you're working with it. So yeah, that's one layer. I've cured it. I'm going to paint on a second layer. And like I said, I do my thumb the same way, and then I'm going to build up my middle nail, and then we will get the glitter ready. Okay, so everything's cured. I'm going to be putting glitter on everything but the middle nail. That's what I was pointing to there. And by the way, how pretty is that a nude would mix with that iridescent glitter? Oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm shaking my glitter in my tray to kind of move the bigger pieces over to one side so I can pull out smaller pieces for, when I need them, and the bigger pieces. And yeah, I do that a lot when I work with glitter. Oh, this is the brush I've switched to, my Oval 4 from Lisette's. That's the one I like the most. This is my favorite brush now. I was using a different one with the nude gel because it has glitter in it, and I don't like using my favorite brushes for glitter. It's hard to get the glitter back out sometimes, especially when it's a super fine glitter like I put in that gel. So that's why, the different brushes. Normally I would just use the same brush and switch between colors, but yeah, that's just me being picky, I guess. Okay, so for these 3 nails, I'm just putting a very small amount of gel on, just painting it on another layer, just like I was doing the ring finger a while ago. It's just something to stick the glitter into. And let's see, I think I showed you here just a second. When I say a small amount of gel, I think I show you exactly, yeah. That's how much I'm talking. Just barely, just, dip your brush in the gel and that you'll pick up plenty. So, yeah, get that done and then we'll get the glitter on. Okay, so I've gotten my little detailer brush back out again. I'm going to pick up the glitter almost piece by piece at this point because I just want a small amount on there. If I was doing a full coverage nail, I would use like my ombre brush or something. That's what I tend to use for glitter, but for this application, I want to be very precise in where I place my glitter. So, yeah, I'm going to do the pinky nail and the pointer nail this way. And I think I'm almost done here. Since I quit messing around. And then I want to do a glitter swoosh. Yeah, see how pretty? On this nail. And this, I cut out, you notice there was a cut there. Because this is about my fifth attempt on this nail, I think. I could not, I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of these, like, swooshes. And I was trying to make it too swooshy. I was trying to make it curve way too much. So I decided just to go with like a 3 points where it would curve, and I kind of mapped those out. And then gonna build up the glitter from there and then work on my pointer nail, and then it'll be time, I think, to encapsulate. So I've got that glitter cured down in that clear layer. I'm going to, the reason I covered up my pot here, I'm going to kind of take my orange wood stick and kind of flick at my glitter here. I'm just rubbing over the top of it basically and making sure everything is adhered down really well. So it's not coming off of my brush and then I'm getting it back into my gel. And I covered my gel up because I have learned in the past, because it's happened to me before, when you do that with your orange wood stick, when you like rub over the glitter like that, pieces of it will come off, and every time they will land in your pot of gel that's open, every single time. That's why there's glitter kind of living in the bottom of my pot of clear gel there. It's a lot of it is from that, and a lot of it is from it coming off on my brush because I didn't make sure it was all cured down well enough. So yeah, learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to encapsulate these three, the pinky, the ring, and the pointer nail. I'm going to encapsulate all of them. This is not the best sculpting job I've ever done. Is not that pretty. So just be warned, and please don't judge me too harshly. It turns all right. Turns out all right in the end. So yeah, just trust the process. Everything's encapsulated. Everything's all my structure's done. Everything is ready to go. I'm done as far as building the nails up. So I'm going to give them a really good wipe. I usually go over twice. I go over it over my hand twice with the nail cleanser to make sure I've gotten all the sticky layer off. You've got to do that before you break out your files. If you don't, you're going to gunk up your files. They're going to get gross. They're not going to work. You're going to ruin your file. They'll have to be thrown away. All the things you don't want to happen. So yeah. So now we are filed, and see, much better, much better. And that glitter, I debated for a while on making these matte when I was done, because that glitter looks so pretty matte, I think. But I didn't think that you could see the foil well enough to see that it actually says Dior. Thought it would just look like blue spots or something underneath of it. So yeah, that's why I went shiny. But if it wasn't for that, I would have gone with the matte. So now that I've got everything all wiped down, I've pulled out some things I might want to use. This I'm definitely using. It's a little charm that says Dior. It's out of this set that was in another haul at some point from AliExpress. This is another thing I went and looked for the listing, and the listing doesn't exist anymore. The store that was selling them, the store still exists on AliExpress, but it doesn't have anything on there. So yeah, I did try to look for y'all. Sorry. But yeah, I've pulled out some other little butterflies and bows. I might use the blue rhinestones that I don't even remember where they came from at this point. I've got some white opal and blue opal rhinestones that I was thinking about using. Those came from Amazon forever ago. You can find those anywhere. And I'm going to be using my McCart rhinestone gel. Now, I'm not real sure at this point. I wasn't real sure how I was going to do this nail, but I knew I wanted it to be like the feature nail, and I wanted to have it full of charms, rhinestones, just everything. I just knew I wanted it to be big and bold. So this, it's a long process here, and I did speed up a lot of it because this takes me forever. I knew that I wanted my Dior charm to be in the center, and I wanted to build around that. So I just kind of build as I go. And this is, rhinestones, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. I love the way they look, and I kind of like the application process, trying to figure it out. But I kind of, it kind of pisses me off sometimes too, because I never know. I hardly ever know how I'm going to do it until, I put things on and I move them around. If they don't look right, I take them off and try something else. And, I don't know. I don't really have any solid advice to give you on rhinestone placement other than the more things that you put up against each other, the more solid it's going to hold, basically. And I see sometimes you'll see rhinestones where one has been put on the nail, then they leave a gap, then they put another one, then they leave a gap, then they put another one. Don't do that, because they're not going to last. If you push them up, if you butt them all up against each other, if you have a big one and you surround it with smaller ones and they're all pushing together, it's going to last way longer than just one here, one here, one, spaced out. And so, yeah, push them all up together. Use a rhinestone gel, not a glue. That way you have all the time in the world to figure out what you want your final design to be. And it doesn't, you're not locked in until you stick it in a lamp. And as you see, this one takes me ages. I think this finger alone took me, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 minutes by the time I finally cured it in place. And I cut some of it out and I sped it up because, yeah, I didn't think y'all would want to sit through the whole thing. So yeah, that's why it's sped up. So I'll just let y'all watch. And then, actually, are we done? No, we're not done. I decided I wanted some AB charms on there as well. So I pulled out my big box of AB charms. That's from Amazon as well. I got it back on Black Friday at a really good price. They probably still sell them on there. If y'all want a link, let me know, as I always say. And I think, is this the final? Nope, still going. I never know when to stop. When I start doing a nail like this, it's never enough until the nail is just fully covered and I have no more room almost sometimes. So, yeah. We're going to move on to the next nail here in just a minute, I promise. Okay, ring finger. Now, I knew I wanted a butterfly on that, so it kind of looked like the glitter was the trail that the butterfly was leaving behind as it flies across your nail, I wanted that double butterfly charm so bad. It looks so perfect. But you'll see here in a second, I'm putting a lot of rhinestone gel on because I really thought I was going to use it. But once I stuck it on my nail, they stick up so much. I was afraid to leave it on there. I knew it would be catching on everything. And, I mean, I could have built it up more, with more rhinestone gel, but that would have not looked the best. This is the kind of charm that you want to surround with rhinestones like I was talking about before. And that'll cut down on the catchiness, but that bottom one is just sticking up so much. It's always going to be a little bit of a problem at least, but so yeah, I'm going to pick that one off. Once again, the advantages of a gel over a glue. And I've got another little one over there that I pick up instead. I wish I'd used a different one. I've got some other ones that have like some AB charms on them. I wish I'd used one of those instead, but this still looks really cute, I think. So once I get it positioned the way I like, because it takes a second here, I'm trying to figure out how I want it. Once I get it positioned, I'm going to cure it, and then I'll show you how I kind of build up around it to make it less likely to catch on things. Okay, so I've got that cured down, but it's still sticking up off the nail. It's going to catch on things at this point. So, to help mitigate that a little bit, I'm going to work on one side at a time, and I'm just kind of building up a little of that rhinestone gel and kind of flash curing it. At this point, all it needs is a few seconds of the lamp to get it kind of flash frozen, I guess you would say. I know it's for food, but kind of just flashed in place. And another layer and kind of bring it up over the edges. And I'm going to flash it again. If you don't have one of these little flashing flashlights, I feel like I'm saying flashlight. If you don't have one of these little handheld lamps to use, you can just stick it in your regular lamp for a few seconds. Just as long as you give it a full cure when you're done, you'll be fine. And more around this side. And I think I do this a couple times. Oh no, I guess I cut that out. So yeah, just do that until you feel like it's not going to catch on things as much. And it's very well secured. So now it's the best time. Top coat over the matte glitter. And I think I pull this nail up to show you what the glitter looks like. Maybe. Here in a second. Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm gonna I think I'll leave my middle nail for last. And I've got my detailer brush out in case I need to go around any rhinestones. But yeah, okay, sorry, I got interrupted there. My dad was talking to my husband, and the neighbor lets his dogs run all over the place, and my dogs were barking at him, and oh god, it was a mess. So anyway, yes, I've got my little detailer brush out in case I need to go around any of my rhinestones on my middle nail. For the butterfly on this one, I'm just buttoning the top coat up underneath of it, making sure it's, even more around it so it helps secure it even more. But not, a big old glob of it or anything, because that's going to look not the nicest thing. And I'm going to do this one and cure, I think I cure them, and then I'll talk you through the middle nail. Okay, for this middle nail, I am going to basically do it the way I did the butterfly, but, a little more detailed. I'm going to, once again, butt that brush up next to the rhinestones, but not over them. Don't top coat over your rhinestones. It makes them look terrible. Every time I see somebody doing that, I just, something inside of me dies just a little every time. It looks terrible, I think, but I mean, if you need to do it to secure them, do whatever. But so yeah, I'm not really capping the free edge there. I'm just making sure I've got it up on the underneath of that rhinestone that's on the very tip. And oh yeah, I wiped the excess off my brush, and I'm going over my charm just very thinly. I did the same thing to the butterfly on the other nail, just so the charm doesn't get discolored or you know, whatever can happen. You know, weird things happen to charms sometimes when they're exposed to air and soap and, you know, all those things. So yeah, we're done. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I love them. I do see one flaw, and it's bugging me. And I fixed it for the final pictures. Oh, and that's what my thumb looks like. I put a little bow on it. I thought it was cute. And that's the other hand. Honestly, I need to go over it some more with the file, but isn't that nude pretty? With the glitter in it? I'm so glad I made a full pot of that, because I definitely want to use that again. But yeah, I love that nail. I love all of them, but that's definitely my favorite one. With the butterfly at the bottom, and the butterfly on that one's really pretty. It's not catchy. I washed my hair last night after I did these, and nothing, it didn't catch with anything. And they came out great. So, yeah, y'all let me know what you think. I think they're awesome. And if y'all spot the flaw that I'm talking about, let me know. It's very slight, but to me, it stands out like it's flashing neon sign. But anyway, yeah, I think they're perfect for spring coming. It's not here yet, but it's on its way. So I think these are the perfect colors. This time of year, you never know what to do. So anyway, y'all leave me a like before you go. I would love you for it. Leave me a comment. I like to talk to you all. Subscribe. I've got a Temu haul coming up next time. And put your notifications on. And I appreciate you sticking around. This was a long one. I will see y'all next time. Bye.